7 months ago, I unboxed this budget wooden wonder.
Open the other one. It's another. Is it another per one? No, this is just some other weird thing. Let's go ahead and open it. What the shit? Okay, it's got a little magnet box. Okay, we got a wood handle and a button. Okay, we got a button lock with a wood handle. Oh, that's neat. Okay, oh, it's very oily like the last one. Let's pop it. Not as good of a detent for sure. And a little button stick. Nice sound though. What do we have here? A sub $50 Damascus and wood-handled button lock? It has to be a piece of shit, right? Well, surprise, it's not. It's pretty freaking cool. The Damascus, you know, I don't know what the quality of it is. I'm assuming it's probably similar to Civivi's 9CR Damascus, something like that. But I do know it looks pretty damn good. It's some pretty nice looking Damascus. Kind of a half polished, half flat look. The wood seems to be good quality wood. Very flat. It could use some contouring, which I keep saying I'm going to do, but I haven't done yet. Now, the main problem with this thing is, I just checked on Amazon where I got it from. It's unavailable. So, you know, keep it in your search. Check it out now and then to see if they get them back in, because it's a pretty cool knife for fairly cheap, man. I think it was like 45 bucks or something like that. It is definitely worth it. Very cool. Nice sound. Let's listen to this guy. The flipper is a bit light on the detent, but it works. But what does work really well for it is the thumb studs. And even though it's a small knife, I think it's, I want to say a little bit less than 3-inch blade, probably 2.8 or something like that. Even though it's a short blade, the kind of fat handle makes it okay to reach those thumb studs. You know how sometimes a small knife, you're trying to thumb stud it open, and it's like you're trying to reach it, but you can't quite reach because it's too small. It just sucks. But this one works really good. You can slow roll it. Reverse flick you can do too, from the fuller or from the thumb stud. I think the fuller is probably a little bit easier. But like I said, the flipper tab, meh, it's okay. But it just really has a nice, neat sound to it. A nice solid feel. You can button it, of course, too. Pocket clip works fine. Nothing wrong with that. You could put a nicer one on there because it looks like it's the standard hole for, ooh, what's that? A little bit loose. Well, shit. You know what? I'm going to tighten that up. I hate it when my shit is loose. All right, I think it's a T6. So it looks like you can kind of move it around a little bit. So let's get it at the right angle where it looks right, about like that. Then tighten these guys up. Well, okay, yeah, it's tightening. Okay, yeah, that felt pretty good. Oh, it's actually sitting up off the wood now. I don't know if it was doing that before. I feel like it wasn't. Interesting. Let me double tighten these and make sure. Okay. All right. Interesting. Don't know if that'll make any difference on the sound of it or anything. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of feel the pocket clip vibrate now as you close the knife. I wonder if it'll still work in the pocket even though it's sticking up off the thing. Usually that's not a big deal. It is a little loose, actually. I probably got to take it off and bend it a little bit, but I also hate that little duckbill part. So I'd probably cut that off and shape this up a little bit anyway. So we'll do that sometime later. But for now, let's just finish this little review. Let's look at the construction here. It's wood scales over these stainless steel liners, and they got some pretty good milling inside there. Some big rectangles cut out to make it a little bit lighter, and it is pretty light, and the balance is really good because of that. The blade has a nice big choil, perfectly usable for even big fat fingers. It actually feels really good holding it and cutting things like this. It works pretty well. Let's see. I forget how sharp it is. I've used it a few times, probably, I don't know, 6 or 8 times I've carried it. Yeah, it's still got a little bit of edge to it. And I probably used it to open things, you know, that many times at least. open things, cut things, whatever. So it's holding edge fairly well for, you know, a sub $50 knife that's Damascus. On the clip side, we have the adjustable pivot screw, and on the other side they have their little, I think it's a dragon. Let's look at it really close. Pretty sure it's a dragon. Does it look like a dragon? I think it is. Anyway, the button, how far the button sticks out is pretty good. It doesn't, you have to actually kind of intentionally get onto it if you wanted to. Like if you were going to do some draw cuts, your hand would be here, it wouldn't be up here. When you wrap your hand around it, yeah, I'm not feeling like oh, wait. It has the tiniest bit of forward and back movement, but man, it is very tiny amount. And I think that's only happened recently. I think the first time I tested it, it had no back and forth play. So, you know, it's wearing in a little bit. Button locks, you know, they either have some button stick or they have a little bit of play usually. Hardly any are perfect, especially $50 ones. Well, I just noticed that they did a nice little edge chamfer on these liners. So they're very nice and smooth on your, like if your hands get into this area here, you don't feel a sharp edge there at all. Really nice. Now you can check your lockup on a button lock by seeing how far in that fat part goes into the blade. And this one looks like to be about almost 50%, probably 45%. So not bad. I'd like it more 60, 70 would be nice, but that's not bad. Again, the action's really good. It's yeah, the pivot's like in the perfect tension and hasn't, have I tightened this thing? I might have tightened it once, maybe, but it hasn't really slipped like most do. Most knives you have to adjust them now and then, they get loose unless you put Loctite in it, something like that. This one has been really good. So, you know, I think in closing, I would say get one of these if you can. It's a pretty damn cool knife. Before we go, Richard wanted me to show off the knife that he reviewed one more time.
Yes, please.
And say, we're giving this knife away along with the other one that Kendra reviewed, and to go on to the link below and check out the giveaway video and make a comment so that you can possibly win this lovely Twosun TS191 in D2. It's so nice, man. Look at that cool pocket clip. Some nice anno there. Beautiful knife. Just feels so nice and smooth. Great knife. Two great knives. Have a nice day.